From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is a special edition of your News 8 Daily and Daybreak Drive-In for Friday, January 16th. Hoosiers heat up in Miami with long lines for rally towels in B-Town. We hear from a man who wants to be mayor in Indianapolis, and a data center debate delay. All that next. First, though, weather. We have some snow this morning, really cold temperatures. It could be an issue for the morning drive. Here's meteorologist Marcus Bailey with what you need to know.
And I don't think this is going to be a huge deal. Here's Storm Tracker. We've got, these snow showers that are moving through. There could be some heavier bursts at times. We're not going to go crazy here. But when you get a burst here or there, it could lower visibility for maybe a few seconds, maybe a few minutes. And then that obviously would accumulate a little bit more quickly. And so that's what we'll be watching here for much of the morning hours as this warm front kind of sags south. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch. You've got this system here. You've got another cold front and boundary that's working over across the Mississippi River that will also squeeze out some snow. So Storm Track 8 Futurecast as we go hour by hour from now through mid-morning. I think this first wave is gone by around 8 or 9. Again, the concern is because it's a slow mover, it's going to be around for some of the early commuters. And then we'll move another wave of snow in here midday into the afternoon. That could lay down, again, another quick coating before the evening drive. And then the rest of the evening, I think we've got some of these spotty snow showers here. They're very much hit and miss and very light. We haven't really changed the forecast here for accumulation. 1/2 inch to an inch, and I think that's being generous. We may even see a little bit less than that here in this lighter blue, maybe around an inch or two up in northern parts of the state for the day.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Public comment will now be taken next month about the proposed data center in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. The company Metroblocks wants to rezone the land for the project. The neighborhood group, One Voice Martindale-Brightwood, asked the city to delay the hearing yesterday. The group wants more information on the plan from the company and also wants the City County Council to first consider regulations on data centers, despite stiff opposition. The council member who represents the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood strongly supports it.
No, it's not the answer when we have a blighted community that's been there vacant for over 40 years. No one's coming to that particular property to invest in it. It's zoned for industrial use, and the fact of the matter, this could be a game changer for our community and our city.
We're not against developing. We know, technology. We know that we have to have data centers, but why there? That's our main thing. Why here? I know there's been a vacant lot, but then you got other areas you can build in.
The next public hearing on the data center rezoning plan is set for February 12th. Former City County Council President Vop Osili says he wants opportunity to be a foundational piece of his campaign for mayor. He spoke to IT mates Tim Spears for his first broadcast interview after the announcement that he's running for the position.
He had a wide-ranging conversation on his successes, controversies, and vision for the future of Indianapolis. Osili has served on the City County Council since 2012. An architect by trade, he says he wants opportunity to be a foundational piece of his campaign.
And then I want to open the door to opportunity for everyone in this community, in this city.
What do you see as the principles of your campaign?
It's neighborhoods up.
Sitting down with Wish TV for his first broadcast interview since announcing his run for mayor, Vop Osili believes Indianapolis needs to break down the barriers between city services and the people it serves.
One of the things that I've done over the course of my time on the council is make sure that we bring voices into, to the table.
Speaking of hearing voices, this past year, one of the accusers for Thomas Cook, you had removed from a city council meeting.
I regret that Ms. Roberts had to endure what she had to endure at the hands of a top official of the administration.
Do not put your hands on me.
In June, Osili ordered deputies to remove Lauren Roberts from a council meeting as she detailed sexual harassment allegations involving former Hogsett aide Thomas Cook. She has since filed a lawsuit against the city over her removal. Osili said he has not talked to her since.
And I do regret having diminished the voice of Ms. Roberts that evening on the council. But let me say this, in an Osili administration, that would never have happened. And if it had, I would have fired that individual on the spot.
How do you think Hogsett's administration handled the allegations against Thomas Cook?
I think that's a question that you need to ask him.
Well, what's your opinion? You're running for mayor.
I'm running for mayor to be mayor and to make my own decisions.
There were multiple city council members who publicly stated Mayor Hogsett should have resigned. Looking back, do you believe he should have?
I can't speak for that. I'm not even going to.
Voters obviously have their own opinions on it. And maybe they're going to form their opinions on what they think you would do in these situations based on how you think they were handled.
No, I think what I do think is I hope they would judge me on what I've said and the very fact of what I would do and where my focus is as I go forward.
Osili also didn't want to comment on potential primary opponents, choosing to stay focused on infrastructure, public safety, housing, the quality of life issues he thinks will make the difference in the mayoral race. And what's your message to voters?
The message to voters is we live in a city that is magnificent, that is full of people who are passionate, who are kind, and that when we come together, we are unstoppable.
Tim Spears for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Hoosier fans are never daunted and are lining up, literally, and gearing up as the excitement builds ahead of IU's shot at the College Football Playoff National Championship against Miami on Monday. Fans waited in a line in Bloomington yesterday that snaked around campus and Assembly Hall to get their hands on rally towels the school was handing out. Big Ten football posted on X that the line was half a mile long. IU Marching 100 also on hand ahead of their own trip to Miami and halftime national spotlight. The band's drum major tells us she knows it's the moment of a lifetime.
I feel so honored to be in this position, to be able to lead the band in this sort of thing. And it's one of those things where, childhood me is absolutely living in the moment, as well as everybody else in the band.
You'll be able to watch the Marching Hundreds portion of the halftime show on one of ESPN's Plus channels Monday night. The White House confirmed yesterday President Trump will be at the national championship game on Monday. Miami native and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will also be there. This will be the third time Trump's attended the game. He went in 2018 and 2020 to the title games during his first term. State Attorney General Todd Rokita is warning IU fans looking to score some last-minute tickets to the game to watch out for scams. Rokita says you should only buy tickets from official sources like Indiana University, verified vendors, or through proven third-party sellers. He says you should also be wary of prices that just seem too good to be true. If you do buy tickets, use secure payment methods like credit cards and avoid paying with cash, debit cards, or wire transfers. Indiana has a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, to lean on for Monday's national championship game, but his teammates say he makes them even better players. One of his top receivers says the quarterback's presence boosts the confidence of the whole offense. Elijah Surratt has caught at least one touchdown pass in 9 consecutive games and 15 receiving touchdowns overall. This week, he told reporters he's comfortable no matter what team the Hoosiers are up against.
I'm always comfortable when you got someone like Fernando back there throwing you the ball. And then, of course, I believe in myself and the guys in the receiver room with me. So I'm always confident no matter who we're going against, no matter if it's Miami, no matter if it's Indiana State. So very, very confident in my beliefs. I understand it's going to be a challenge, of course. They're a great team. They're in the national championship for a reason. But I always go into every game being confident.
Wish TV is giving you all access to the College Football Playoff Championship game and the undefeated Hoosiers. Sports Director Anthony Calhoun and Andrew Chernoff are in Miami. They're going to have live coverage for you leading up to the game. This morning on Daybreak on Wish TV, Andrew's going to join us live in our 7 a.m. hour, 8 a.m. hour as well. We're also going to have a story from Hernan Gutierrez about an 11-year-old IU fan who has a heart condition and through Team Impact has been traveling with IU through the playoff series and is going to the national championship game too. Colin Bailey's also going to tell us about watch parties here in Indiana. So please watch Daybreak. You can live stream on wishtv.com too. Okay, a state Senate committee has passed a bill that could lead to some people losing Medicaid coverage and SNAP food benefits. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist tells us what would change if the bill becomes law.
The bill's author says it's meant to prevent waste, fraud, and abuse, but the state's own Medicaid director says he can't provide any numbers on that. Much of the bill is meant to bring Indiana into compliance with work requirements in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. It bans undocumented immigrants from using either SNAP or Medicaid, even though they're already ineligible. The Family and Social Services Administration would have to check your eligibility every 6 to 12 months.
My concern is that if we don't check more frequent, that our state payment error rate is going to increase, which is going to charge us even more to our general fund and payment penalties under H.R. 1. So right now, under H.R. 1, that threshold's 3% in SNAP and 6% on Medicaid. So to put that in perspective, if we took those numbers right now, Indiana's payment error rate would be we would owe about $143 million to SNAP in penalties, and on the Medicaid side, it'd be $2.25 billion with a B. And so that's why we're heavily focused on this.
That error rate refers to improper payments. They can include simple paperwork errors as well as more serious issues. The FSSA oversees both SNAP and Medicaid benefits in Indiana. Democrats on the panel questioned Secretary Mitch Robe over waste, fraud, and abuse allegations.
How many people violated federal law and state law that have been referred to the AG to be prosecuted because they never were supposed to be on this program, the Medicaid program?
I don't know that answer, Senator.
I don't appreciate any discussion in Indiana that is not accurate and it does not clearly articulate the language in the bill. I urge the public and I urge my colleagues to read the content of the bill, not just the noise and the messaging on the bill.
The bill also ends Indiana's participation in so-called expanded categorical eligibility for SNAP. That means you automatically qualify if you already receive materials related to welfare benefits. Legislative analysts estimate that language could remove more than 3,000 households from the program. Hunger relief advocates say that policy and the citizenship checks could kick otherwise eligible people off of food stamps.
If we have kids who are eligible, I'm not sending an EBT card to my 14-year-old son. That is a bad idea, right? You're going to send it to a parent. You're going to send it to the adult, the one who's doing the grocery shopping. But this bill would change that, which would potentially penalize mixed status households with less benefits or potentially being ineligible.
So right now, under this bill, all we would do is treat households with illegal aliens just like we treat households with Hoosiers and U.S. citizens. That's it. We would hold them to the same scrutiny and the same checks and the same eligibility requirements regarding household income.
The bill now moves to the full Senate. This is the top priority for Senate Republicans. Governor Mike Braun endorsed it in his State of the State speech on Wednesday night. At the State House, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Rapper Pitbull is coming to Indiana. He announced his I'm Back tour yesterday with a stop at Ruoff Music Center in Noblesville. Concert will be on Saturday, September 19th at 8 in the evening. Rapper Lil Jon will also be touring with him, so should be fun. Tickets go on sale end of the month, January 30th at 10 in the morning. This has been your News 8 Daily and Daybreak Drive-In from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.